What's happening, you guys? Professor Bobby Borg here, going live to talk to you guys a little bit about office hours. And today we're going to talk about music marketing. So, has anyone ever been extremely confused by music marketing, just sort of in general? In other words, you have to get online, you have to promote yourself on TikTok, you have to promote yourself on YouTube, you have to promote yourself on Instagram. And, it's just, if there was a method that you could use to sort of make sense of all of this, wouldn't that be great? And that's what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more of a method to your marketing. I'm going to talk about marketing fundamentals really quickly, just hanging out after a class. And I want to kind of summarize a little bit about what I talked about, okay? So just kind of chilling. Let me go ahead and sit down over here. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down for you. So marketing. So first of all, what is marketing? Marketing is the process of creating products and services to satisfy a target audience, increase awareness, and make sales. So let me break that down for you. Marketing is a process. Marketing is not just promotion, you guys, okay? So a lot of times people think marketing is that thing that you do after your record is done and you're like, okay, now we got to do like the marketing. So like, let's promote ourselves on, let's get more Spotify playlists and let's get more on TikTok and that type of thing. Marketing is a process, and it starts all the way from the idea of what you're doing all the way to the execution of that idea. So it's a lot more to it, all right? So marketing is a process to create products and services. So we are creating products and services, whether or not we like to call it that or not. Our music is a product, our live performances is a service, our merchandising is a product. So we're trying to create products and services specifically to a target audience that we want to satisfy. So, a lot of artists oftentimes say, I just do my art and I don't care whether or not anybody listens to it and all that kind of stuff. Listen, the bottom line of most artists is to create art and for people to be able to reciprocate that art. So in other words, if we just create art that nobody ever listens to, that's actually rather kind of depressing. So we want to create art that people reciprocate, that people actually listen to, that people that enjoy. And that's ultimately our goal. We want to satisfy a target audience. We want to increase awareness, right? We want more people to get on our TikTok. We want more people to view our videos and that type of thing. But ultimately, we want to make sales. So it has to convert, you guys. It can't just be us throwing out a lot of social media content that never goes anywhere. It has to convert to sales, okay? It's got to convert. It's got to convert to people coming out to your shows. It's got to convert to people like voting for you on contests and buying your merch and stuff. Otherwise, it's meaningless, all right? So marketing is the process of creating products and services to satisfy a target audience, increase awareness, and make sales, all right? So let's go ahead and start breaking down the process for you really, really quickly. The first step of the marketing process, write this down, is a vision. You have to have a vision of where you're going first and foremost so that we can map out the directions to get there. When you know where you want to go, it's easier to map out the directions to get there. If you ask me hey, what do you want to do with your music career? And I don't know, I just want to rock. What does that mean? There's nothing that we can do with that. We can't really write a plan around that. So the more specific you can be about imagining your vision and where it is that you want to go makes it easier. Now, the vision can include everything from what general genre do you feel that you're going to be doing? Are you desiring to be with an independent label, with a major label? If so, which ones? Or do you want to just go DIY? If so, talk about maybe a little bit about how you see that happening. Okay? You might also say something a little bit about the types of products and services that you're going to be putting out there. You might want to say something a little bit about the purpose or the vibe or what you want to impart onto your target audience. This is all important and it's all part of it. All right? So for example, when I was 12 years old, I had a vision of exactly what I wanted to do. I knew exactly that I wanted to be in a major label group signed to Atlantic Records, and then I wanted to make music that made people feel good about themselves and made them feel that they're not alone and that other people are going through similar problems as them, right? So this is why it's so important to have a vision first and foremost. And what's happening, Christian? Christian joined in, and someone by the name of Cabinet joined in as well. We got someone by the name of TTKX Ghost that joined. What's happening? And we also got, let's see, another Christian bro. Anyway, hope you guys are good. Feel free, by the way, to leave questions, and I promise I will answer. But what we're talking about right now is we're talking about music marketing, and we're talking about the foundation and structure behind music marketing, and we just talked about vision. So the first step is having a clear vision about where you want to go so you can map out the directions to get there. The second thing you want to do then is you want to be honest with yourself, and this is extremely hard. I'm just hanging out on campus right now, you guys. The next thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself, does anyone give a crap about my vision? Does anyone give a crap about my vision? So in other words, is there a want? Is there a need? Is there a place? Is there an opening in the marketplace? Are you solving any kind of problems in the marketplace? Or are you just doing what everybody else is doing, right? So you have to really be very honest with yourself about this because, you know, it's a very, very competitive world out there. And now with people making AI music and having AI personas and stuff, it's just going to flood the marketplace even more. So you have to ask yourself, like, this is what I want to do. Here's my vision, but does anyone care about that? And you might be asking, what are you talking about? Does anyone care about music, or does anyone care about another artist? Everybody cares about music. People love music. People dance to it. They sing to it. They bathe to it. They exercise to it. But what they care about is something new, interesting, and fresh. So what you have to decide is you have to decide, how are you going to bring something that's unique, interesting, and fresh to the marketplace so that you're not just doing the same stuff that everybody else is doing. So this is really forcing you to find your uniqueness and find what makes you individual. So the second step of the marketing process is really asking yourself that question. Like, this is my vision of what I want to do, but how is it bringing anything new or different to the table? Does anybody care? Am I doing something unique or interesting? Okay, that's very, very important. Then you also have to make sure that whatever you're going after, that you actually have the strengths to go after it. Because a lot of times people want things in life, but they don't have the strengths to back them up. So you want to make sure that you have everything it takes to get where you want to go. And if you don't have those things, right, then those are weaknesses and you have to find out how to turn them into strengths. Now, this is going to take a lot of inner self to be able to do, because a lot of people live in denial. A lot of people want to do things in life and they think they can do it, but they don't really have the skills to do it. So you have to be honest with yourself, and you got to turn those things around and you got to make them strengths. And then the final thing is you want to kind of look into the external marketplace and you want to ask yourself, what are some of the threats that exist out there? It's competition, it's AI, it could be visa issues. I've got a lot of students that are going to have trouble staying in the country, right? And getting the proper visas to stay in America and pursue a career in music in America. That's a problem, that's a threat. You got to deal with that right now. You can't wait until the last second to deal with this. Because right now, if you're dealing it, you could find the proper attorneys, you can put the wheels into place to change that, okay? So we got another person, Stephen Mon, that joined on, and we got G-Pup joining on. Hello, back at you. All right, so really quick, and by the way, Christian, I am gonna set up a live chat as well so that you guys can jump in and ask questions and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just pumping out this really, really short outline, okay? Music marketing, we're talking about the foundations of marketing. So now we're gonna talk about, we talked about vision, we talked about what's called an opportunity. Now we have to look at your customers. Who is your most likely customer for your product and services, for your music, for your label, whatever it is that you're doing? And the way you need to look at this is, who is your most likely audience? That basically means that who is most likely to consume your products and services. And the reason why we're doing most likely is because in many cases when you're starting out, you don't really know who your audience is yet, right? So you haven't been out long enough. You haven't been releasing music long enough to really figure out who your audience is. So who is the most likely audience, right? So if I'm releasing rap music, who is my most likely audience? People probably that like rap, right? Then you can nuance it out. So like if you do rap with a particular style, then you could probably say people that are into rap with this particular nuance attached. And then we can go out, we can find those fans, and then we could find groups of those fans, and then we could try to do what's called like marketing. We could follow those fans, we could put our music where those fans are already going, we can reach out to them, we can tell them about our music, right? So it helps to also market your product as well. So know everything about your fan, know what they like, know where they hang out, know what TV shows they watch, know what magazines they might read, know what blogs they might be on, what podcasts they listen to, because all of this is ideas for how you can market yourself. Okay, then the fourth step that we need to look at is competition. Everybody has competition. So what you need to do is you need to look out at other people that are similar to you or potentially could take attention away from you, and you need to study them. And you need to look at everything that they're doing right, and you need to learn from them. And then you need to look at things that they're not doing, and you need to use that potentially as your competitive advantage. Right? So find the hole in the marketplace. This person does this artist does this artist does this, but nobody is doing this. And that's what you're going to capitalize on, right? Because we have to stand out in the marketplace. You can't just be, playing and going along with what everyone else is doing. And that's the problem. Everyone tries to follow everybody else. You've got to niche it out. There's got to be something that's interesting about you that stands out and is different. Otherwise, you don't really have a chance, right? All right, so that's our competition. Now we have to do what's called testing and feedback. What that basically means is now that we think we're on the right path, now what we have to do is we have to test it. We've got to reach out. We've got to ask people, hey, what do you think about my song? What do you think about my direction? What do you think about my social media posts and my content? You've got to get a vibe from other people about how you're doing. So, so listen, you guys could give me feedback right now. You could say, hey, this is interesting, or it's not interesting at all, or whatever. And I'm going to take that to heart, and I'm going to study it, and I'm going to try to improve, right? That is what you want to do. You need to get feedback from your audience so you know you're on the right path, right? Very, very important stuff. And then finally, once you have all of that research out of the way, now you know you're onto something really strong. And now what we have to do is we have to create goals. Now that we have a vision, we know where we want to go, and we've sort of done our external analysis, we've matched that against our strengths, we know who our customers are, we know who our competitors are, we've done some testing, we've reached out. Now we have to have goals. What are we going to do in the first year or first 6 months to get us where we want to go? Okay, and this is the model I use is called SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, roadmapped, and time-based. So you've got to ask yourself, what specifically are you going to do this next year to get you where you want to go on the long term? Okay, what specifically are you going to do? How are we going to measure it to know that you're successful? Right? Or is it a certain number of streams? Is it a certain number of people on Instagram that you're going to get? Certain number of TikTok followers, certain number of YouTube followers, whatever. Then you have to ask yourself, is it attainable? Is it like doable? Or is this just like some fantasy? Then you have to have a roadmap. How are you going to do? What are you going to do to get you where you want to go? And then it's time-based. Like, for example, in 6 months or in a year, something of that nature. So what I want all of you guys to do right now is I want you to create what's called SMART goals for yourself. Ask yourself, where is it that you want to go? And then what is each one of you going to do in the next 6 months or year to get you closer to that vision? Okay, you're not going to get to the vision, right? Sometimes it takes 5, 6, 7 years, but what are we going to do to get us there closer in this first year? So I want all of you guys to create your own SMART goals. And then this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to go to youtube.com/Bobby Borg, right? And what I want you guys to do is I want you to subscribe to the channel, and then I want you to send me your SMART goals in a comment to one of my videos, or you can comment in this video and you can tell me what your SMART goals are. All right, you guys, so I'm going to say, at this point right now, I'm going to say goodbye to all of you guys. We got chicken nuggets. We got Finn-ish balls. We've got Stephen Mon. We've got Cheek Pup. We got a whole lot of people on here. I do these office hours I do them all the time, you guys, usually around this time on the weekdays. And I talk about music publishing and copyright and marketing and all kinds of stuff. I just talk. It's all real. It's all not scripted. It's, so I love doing this, and hopefully it helps you, and it's a good kind of overview of what I covered in class. So I'm just going to say peace, love, and I'll see you guys all later, right? Take care. Bye-bye.